Bird. I'm heading down tomorrow to install my bee escapes. I just wanted to show you the kind of bee escapes I use. This one here, well, let's start with the other one. This one's like, you know, fairly common, easy to build. Just a couple pieces of, I don't know what size that is. It looks like 1x is cut in half. Made into little triangles. There's 2 sets of triangles, one on the inside, one on the outside. You got 1/8 inch hardware cloth covering it. The bees can come down into here, and then they walk out. Once they're out, they can't get back in. They do a good job. I've used them in the past with good results. But through a guy on YouTube called JC's Bees, Jason Chrisman, I think is his name, up in Ohio, he showed this one time on one of his videos. I like his videos. I've watched a lot of them. He does a really good job, shows you the ins and outs, different things he's learned along the way, help you with your beekeeping. So anyway, he had these on one day. It's from a company out of New Zealand called Ceracell, I think, C-E-R-E-C-E-L-L or something, I don't know. I'll put a link in the description. But they've got these cones on the back, and the interior, they walk, so this is upright on top of your hive. You got your supers on top here. Bees will walk down inside one of these cones. They come out the back of the cone and they're in their hive, and they cannot, or I guess they could, but they won't. Probably too hard for them to come back through the hole and get back into your honey. So I've got about, I think I've got 5 of this kind, and one, I think I only have 1 of these now. I don't know what happened to the other ones, but I'm gonna go install them. I've got 7 hives down there right now. Went down there and checked a little while ago, and it seems to be, I don't know, I might have some, I had at least three boxes filled up, 3 supers filled up. So I'm hoping to have another 3 at least. Looking for at least 100 pounds of honey this time. But again, today the goal is to head down to Fort Pierce, to the Brazilian pepper, and install my bee escapes. On the way to Fort Pierce, I stopped by the orange groves to drop a few pallets down and prepare the ground for my beehives. I'll be bringing them by in just a couple days after the bee escapes have done their job. All I had with me this time was a machete, so that was slow going cutting that grass. Next time I'm bringing a weed eater for sure. Just checked on my hives, put some bee escapes in, because I will be coming in a couple days. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I'll be coming in a couple days to pick up my hives and take them to the orange groves. Today I found that this really wasn't that big of an endeavor, I guess. All right, what I should say is I didn't get much honey. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot more honey. Out of the 7 boxes I have down here, granted one of them was a split, like a walk-away split when I got here. Let's see. Let me show you the boxes. So we got 3 boxes here. The 2 on the right did nothing. The one on the left, it's got honey in it. A little bit up top. The bottom's pretty much, or the blue one's pretty much full. Over here, I've got, well, I guess what I should say is you can see the bee escapes. So the black, these are that, I forget the name of it, starts with a C, bee escapes. There's 1, 2, 3 of those. There's a full box in all of those. And then just a little bit in the very top of that one. And then there's a full box on the blue one, and a little bit on the top here. And then that one right there has a little bit of honey in it, probably like maybe halfway full or something. So I was hoping to get at least 7 full boxes. 6 full boxes I was going to be happy with. Obviously that didn't happen, but there's always next year. I'm at a pretty good location. There's a lot of honey out here. I know I hit it at the right time, because when I came down here, there was blooms on the trees. There was buds on the trees, and I saw it bloom here or there, just very few buds. But I got here in September, I think, maybe October, I forget. But maybe next year I come down in September. I think the bloom is September through December. And I was looking at the trees when I got down here today. I was looking at the buds, looking at seeing if there's any new blooms coming. And it looks like everything's either bloomed out, made their fruit, dropped their fruit, or just starting to start their fruit. So I don't see any new buds coming up. So I think this is it. But what's happening now, like I said, I put the bee escapes on. I'm gonna go load all that stuff up. Those are all the boxes pretty much that I've had. Well, not all of them, but most of them. Let me show you. Most of them are boxes that I had on top of some of these hives. that just didn't produce any honey. So I'm taking them home. They basically have plasticell in there, not drawn out. But I'm gonna clean all this stuff up and hit the road. I'm gonna come back here in 2 days with somebody to help me this time. We're gonna load up everything. We're gonna take it to the orange groves, and it'll sit there until about sometime in March after the bloom's done. Pick it up, extract, or I might just leave it. I might go down there and extract down there, leave everything, and take it to the panhandle, or go down there, pick everything up, take it to the panhandle, and extract in between there. But I'm pretty happy with what I got. I mean, first time I've ever done this. I didn't know anything about doing Brazilian pepper. I tasted some of the honey that I got out of one of these, and it really reminded me of something that somebody was telling me he gets from South Florida a certain time of the year, like in the winter time of the year. But he said it was a dark honey. He said it was from the avocado bloom. Maybe it is, but it might be tainted a little bit with some of this stuff. I just got bit in the leg. Ow, or stung. Anyway, so I tasted it, and like I said, it was really similar to that. It's kind of got like a molassesy flavor. I don't know if that's just a, just a random thing that was in there, but looking forward to tasting this Brazilian pepper. I've never had it before. A friend of mine said it was his favorite. So we're gonna go ahead and load up now, and we'll see you on the pickup. 2 days. I forgot to mention, which I probably should have said, when I came down here, I haven't treated for varroa mites in probably a year or two, and I didn't see any, if you got a bad problem, you can usually see them crawling around the backs of your bees. I didn't see any varroa mites. However, I did see hive beetles. Now, 2 of these hives, I reconfigured them. I got rid of some of these boxes that were handmade. I'm sorry, somebody made them, a friend of mine made them, or maybe he got them from somebody that made them, but they were kind of off a little bit, and there was gaps here and there. But he had those beetle traps. The black one, is black on the top. You put a liquid in the middle of it, and they crawl in the holes. Well, it seems like the beetle traps, all they do, they should call them beetle homes, because all the beetles do is hide under the black section, and there'll be like 50 beetles under the black section, and then you might have caught 20 or something inside the liquid. So I quit using them a long time ago. I didn't realize they were in some of the brood chambers down there. I've since taken them out. Hey, buddy. I've since taken them out because I really think those are just the biggest waste of time and money. I mean, if you had a serious hive beetle problem and you're going to be checking on them every day, going in there and cleaning it out, maybe you could use them, but I don't recommend it. What I did the other day at my house, or past couple of years I've been doing this, and I've seen my hive beetle population drop down significantly. I sprinkle salt. I go to Walmart and I buy those little, pound things of salt, and they're really cheap, like 67 cents or something. And I sprinkle that all around the base of my hives at my house or wherever I'm keeping them. And the hive beetles can't pupate in the ground if it's real salty, I guess, or if there's salt around. Maybe they dry up or something. I really don't know. I think that's what it's doing though. So I heard about that in some kind of thing I watched one time, like some kind of bee show or something on the internet, and they weren't talking about sprinkling salt around your hives. They were talking about the fact that the larva, or I guess it's larva, once the egg hatches, it's a larva. It crawls down on the ground to pupate and become a beetle. The larva stage can't take the salt. So it has worked. Like, I'm telling you, when I first got into beekeeping, I got 2 hives. The reason I did that, and I suggest this, is so you can kind of see what one's doing in comparison to the other. Otherwise, if you just had one, you wouldn't really know if you had 10 hives, if they would all done the same thing. So I started with 2 hives, and I had a horrible hive beetle problem in both hives. One of them beat it on me. The hive swarmed on me at the end of the year, like in November. And so I was down to 1 hive, but just that hive beetle problem was horrendous. Then I, did some looking into it, and it was like I could have used, was it permethrin or something? I didn't want to spray anything on the ground. I didn't want to have to deal with killing things that I didn't want to kill. So I took the salt route, and maybe that kills things I don't want to kill either, but it doesn't kill my bees, so I'm happy about that. But that's really all I don't want to kill, and my chickens. So I went the salt route, and I'm telling you what, at the house, I would say give it a shot. However, keep in mind, when you pour salt on the ground, it'll kill the plants typically. The plants don't like to grow in salt, except for some species of grasses and some weeds, of course, because you can go down to the ocean and see plants, right? St. Augustine's pretty salt tolerant, really salt tolerant. But just keep that in mind. If you got something down there you don't want to kill, you might want to do a little test area before you go sprinkling salt everywhere. But it worked to take care of my hive beetle population. So when I came out here, when I dropped my bees off here, I had virtually zero, except for the hives that weren't mine that I picked up from somebody. Those were pretty infested. And they have some in there. Not too bad. They're getting better. But it's just something I was thinking about. So one of the things I wanted to say is that when I went in the hives, I saw hive beetles. Those beetle traps were in there, and they don't really work. I don't really care for them. I don't suggest using them. Another thing I noticed in there is that my bees are doing really good. Down the brood chambers, fantastic. Good brood patterns, lots of brood. But let me show you this. You can see probably now there's gaps in between the hives. Well, some of the hives, I didn't realize I didn't have gaps. And when you don't have a gap, you think you don't have a gap, you still do have a gap. It's a tiny gap. Bees can't fit through there, but what can fit through there is these little bastards. Can you see that guy? Oh, let me go around the back to find some over here. There's one right there. Bull ants. There was bull ant nests like crazy in the gaps or in the cracks back here. So I've widened the gaps. I've shoot them all out, and the bees looks like they're taking care of everything. But just something to keep in mind if you're doing this. Keep your hives separated a little bit. I guess all I could say is in my haste, it was dark. I was down here by myself doing all this work. I was ready to get the heck out of here. So I didn't really, excuse me, COVID cough. I didn't really pay attention to how I set everything up. Like I said, it was dark. So we'll get out of here. Again, be back in 2 days to take everything up to the orange groves. All right, we'll see you. Here's what looks to be the end of it. We got these are the Brazilian peppers, I guess is what you could call them. Let me see if I can show you this. When you squeeze them, there's a little berry in there, or a little seed in there, but the outer casing comes right off. And let me taste one. See if you can see this. I don't think you can. Let's see. There's really nothing peppery about it. It's actually sweet. I don't know if they're poisonous or not, but I heard you can cook them and like grind them or something once they're fully mature, but I don't think these are mature. I don't think they're supposed to smash like that. I think when they're mature, they're harder, but I can't say for certain because I don't play with these too much. But anyway, I just want to show you, this is what they look like when they're getting mature, almost mature. They turn red, and I don't know if you can see in there, probably not, but there's no more blooms on this one. Every now and then you'll see a tree that's totally bare, so I think it's already gone through its there's a hog up there. It's already there. Some of them have already gone through there. Oh yeah, look at a little piggy. He's coming at me. Look at that. And off he goes. I don't know if you can see it, but that was a hog walking up the street, or walking up the dirt road. And I'm about to get out of here. So some of these pepper trees, like I said, have berries on them. Some of them are totally done already. Haven't seen any blooms. I think it's over with.